Hi there, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can use AI to spy upon your competitors to give you more information to help you make better decisions and ultimately make more money for your business. Getting AI to do the simple, reoccurring, menial tasks is one of the ways which you can use AI to free up your time, to free up your team's time, so that you can do the activities which actually grow your business or a client's business. Let's have a look at what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Okay, so here we are within n8n, and in this example, I am going to pretend that Gymshark is my competitor, and that I've got this Airtable, very simple Airtable table with some information about some of their products that I want to track. So let's say I'm a competitor and I want to know what the pricing is. This is so if they change their pricing, perhaps I can look at my pricing, create a campaign around something, and generally keep an eye on competitors. This is a very simple example, but you can track pretty much anything to do with your competitors in a very similar way. So what this process is going to do is it's going to make sure that we have the most up-to-date pricing for all of the products of our competitor. So let's give it a run so we can see what it looks like. So one of these prices is wrong in here. So if I give this automation a test, what we're going to see is it's going to run. It's going to go and get the information from Airtable, and it's then going to check all of the prices. And it's going to give us a message in Telegram to say whether anything has been updated. And ideally how this would work is that we set up a trigger to run at midnight every night, so that every morning when we wake up, we've got a notification of any changes to do with any of our competitors. And we can see that if we go to Telegram, we can see we have got a notification saying the price of the Crest joggers has changed from 22 to 36 pounds. And we can see that here, that has been updated from 22 to 36. And you can see here, this is how it's spying on our competitors, giving us the most up-to-date information automatically, so you don't have to deploy yourself or a member of your team to go and do this manually. Let's have a look at how this is working. So the trigger in this situation, I'm just using a test trigger. However, setting it up with a schedule is a very good way to make sure this happens every day or every week or however often you want to spy on your competitors. We are then using an AI agent. For the language model, we are using OpenAI, we are using GPT-4o Mini. Basically, any model with reasonable intelligence will do. The more intelligent, the less chance there is of hallucinations. However, the more expensive it is. So it is a bit of a trade-off. If you're deploying this yourself, do have a play around with it. I have a link in the description below where I will put the links to this automation, so you can take it, download it, deploy it yourself, and use it straight away. That's down in the description below. You can check that out. So the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to go and get all the information that is in our Airtable table. You can see that we give it full capabilities over this Airtable table. And what we're doing is we're just linking it up with the credentials within n8n. In order to get your API key, all you need to do is search Airtable API token. You'll come to a page that looks like this, then go to create tokens, and you'll be able to come to this page and you'll be able to create your tokens. And you need to put in all of the scopes to make sure it can do everything. You then just connect up using the credentials. So what we're doing is we are getting everything from this list. We're returning all from this table 1, which is what we've called it here. It's just within the Gymshark products and table 1. So as you can see, it's returning everything about these products, but what we really need is this ID, because then the ID is being passed into this other workflow that we've got within n8n called update item price. So if we go over to that workflow, this is what it looks like. So first of all, it's going to be triggered when this agent here decides that we need to go over and get the item pricing. And how we do that is we put in a description here saying, call this tool to set the price of a row to the most up-to-date price. The ID of the row should be supplied, because as a parameter, we are passing in ID, and that's going to be passed all the way through. So next, we've got a edit fields. The reason we have this is that when we're testing, we don't have to actually call it from the workflow. We can just put in here any ID that we want in order to test it. We then retrieve the information from Airtable. So we retrieve the name, the URL, most importantly, the URL and the price. What we're then doing is scraping the URL. We're just doing a get HTTP request, so getting all the information that's on that page. And as you can see here, we are getting a lot of information. You can see it's a large scroll. So the really important thing to do next to prevent us from spending our entire inheritances on AI tokens is we need to strip the unneeded code back from the HTML. So what this is going to do is it's going to remove everything that we don't need from the HTML. So you can see here, this is the result, and it's much smaller than the input, which was, as we could see earlier, very big. So we're going to remove all of the JavaScript, all of the styling, all of the iframes, all the headers, the footers, the navigation, and we're going to get back just essentially the text that is on the page. However, you'll see that this text isn't super clear, and this is where the power of AI comes in. AI looks at this and says, okay, what is the price of this item? And that's what this AI agent is doing here. We see the prompt is, take this text extracted from a product page of Gymshark and tell me what the price of an item is. Just return the number, nothing else, not even the currency. And then we pass in the cleaned information, the clean HTML from the previous step. And it's going to output us a number, which is the price. We're then taking that number, and what we want to do is we want to compare that number that we've just returned to the number that was first read, if we go back here when we're getting the record. And what we're doing here is we're seeing if anything has been changed. Has there been an update to the price? Because if there hasn't been an update to the price, we want to return that there has been no change. And if there has been an update, then we can see here, true, it says no change. But if it's false, so they don't equal each other, it says this product name, the price has changed to whatever the new price is from the old price. And that's going to be passed back over to our main process here. That's going to be passed back, and then the AI agent will use that in order to give us a Telegram message. Let's have a look at the prompt here. So what we're saying is, you are a helpful assistant that will look at the list of products that I have in an Airtable, and for each one, you will use the tool provided to update the price of that product to the most recent price. It is crucial that you never pass the same ID into the tool twice. So this was to fix an issue that I was having. Actually, it was an issue stemming from a previous version of n8n. So if something isn't working as you'd expect within n8n, make sure you do have the most up-to-date version installed. And then we're saying, if there are any changes, send me a Telegram message telling me only of the changes. Do not tell me the things that haven't changed. Include the previous price and the new price. If there are no changes, do not send me a Telegram message. So essentially, we are going to run this for each item that's in the table. You can see this is run 6 times because we have 6 items within this table. But equally, you could have this working if you've got 1,000 different items within a table, 5,000, and if you had lots of different properties, not just the price, but whatever you wanted as well. Then after it's done that, it's going to feed it back to the AI agent. The AI agent is going to decide whether we need to send a Telegram message and what that Telegram message needs to contain. And within Telegram, we have simply set it up with a Telegram bot that I have made called Matt's notification channel. And we are just allowing AI to pass in whatever it wants into that text in order to tell us what has changed. So let's go back through, change some of the details and see it running again. So I'm going to change the price here to 44, we're going to go 12, and we're going to go 66. Okay, so we should have a few different changes happening. So if we go back over to the main process, and ideally we would have this running from a schedule, because we don't want to come in every time to actually run it manually. That's just a case of changing the way that it's triggered. But since we're running a test, let's test it. You can see it's running through. And if you do have thousands of rows and you're not just getting the price, but you're getting lots of other things, it will take, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute, maybe longer if you're actually getting a lot of information. But that is why scheduling this is a really great thing to do, because if you're doing this overnight, it doesn't matter if it takes up to an hour, because most likely you and all your team are going to be sleeping. So there we go. It is completed. If we go over to Telegram, it has now told us that price changes. Arrival shorts was 66, now 22. Was 12, now 36, was 44, now 70. So it's got all of those correct. And we can, of course, change the format of this. We can tell AI that we want that message to be sent to Telegram to be in a certain way. We want it to look a certain way, or we want it to include certain text. We can really format it however we like. Now, this is a fairly basic example of how you can set up a process to spy on your competitors to get whatever information you want. This is obviously very basic and just getting the price, but you can see here how we could change it to get not just the price, but the description. You could get the images, really anything that you wanted to, so you can see exactly what your competitors are doing. You could perhaps use this if you are scraping niches on Amazon, or if you're looking at new blog posts which your competitors have posted, perhaps looking at new deals that they may have on their website or new product lines. Really anything that you want, this template can be used to spy on your competitors. So if you want to use this template and deploy it within your own business in just a few clicks, I'll leave a link down below where you can download this and use this yourself within n8n. If you have any questions about any of this, then do join the community that it is linked in the description, and you'll be able to speak to me, speak to everyone else, and get support in deploying this within your own business or within clients' businesses. I hope you've liked this video. I hope it's been useful. If you have, then please do drop it a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.